sides?
Was the superintendent
Yes, sir.
responsible for both sides?
Yes, sir. And then from there on, you would have a director on the colored side and a director on the white side. Do you know when people were placed in solitary confinement, what kind of rations they received?
As far as I know, the kitchen personnel would deliver the rations up there in containers that would keep it warm, and that's all I know. I didn't never see what was on the trays or anything like that, but they were supposed to be served the same food.
Did they get a full ration of food, do you know? Did they get a full ration of food, do you know?
I would say they had a balanced meal.
How about accessibility to a drink of water? Did they have water available at their leisure in solitary confinement?
I'm sure they did.
Do you know whether they did?
I didn't stand there and watch it to see if it was done, but I'm sure that they had a chance to have water when they wanted it.
During the time that you were at the school, who were the people that would have been the cottage fathers in Pierce Hall?
In Pierce?
Pierce, isn't Pierce where the solitary confinement was?
Yeah.
Who were the cottage fathers that were responsible for that hall during the time that you were there?
Being responsible for what?
During the years that you were there,
Yeah.
who were the people that would have been responsible at Pierce Hall when it was used for solitary confinement?
The director would have to okay that just like he would a spanking.
Okay, but who was there a cottage father in Pierce Hall?
Yes.
Who were the cottage fathers that you are aware of?
Mr. Raleigh White.
And how long was he the
He's
cottage father?
deceased, I believe, now.
Anybody else?
Well, I can't remember the names of the people that worked up there. But I won't volunteer or anything. I just answer your question now.
You can't remember anybody that was up there other than Raleigh White?
I knew him well and had been knowing him before he started working at the school.
Are there other people with whom you've stayed in touch that worked with you at the school who are still alive?
That list you had?
You want to mark that?
So it's our only copy.
I would imagine that list that you have, all of those names that are listed are probably living.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. I might have thrown it back. I know, yeah. There it is. That's Exhibit A to the Troy Tidwell answers to interrogatories and objections. There, can you just look down that and tell us who would still be alive?
K. Fowles is one that I don't know if he's still living or not. Seeing that I heard that he had passed, I don't know. Eddie Ellis is deceased. Now, his wife is still living, of course. She's on here. She was a school teacher. all of those are living except for those I named.
Have you stayed in touch with any of those people?
Occasionally I see some of them, not often.
Okay, there is a second page, that number 46 through 57, about those.
I was trying to, this is Mr. Bondurant's, supposed to be his mother. I don't think she spelled her name that way.
Who is that now?
What were you pointing to? I think he was pointing to Laureen Prather, number 49.
Seeing that I remember her name being Lorraine. And if it was Lorraine, it'd be spelled different, I believe.
Okay.
Dr. Mayfield, I don't know if he's still living or not. He was a dentist out there at the school.
Did he live in the area?
Miss Mayfield, is she, do you know if she's still teaching? Oh, yeah.
You have to just try to answer yourself.
Well, I'm not sure if, what was that name I mentioned, Mayfield is still living or not, but he was a dentist out there. Dr. Wexler, deceased, and I don't know about Robert Kerr. Ralph Walker, I don't know about him because I believe he lives in Atlanta. George Brown would live in Tallahassee.
And who was George Brown?
He was superintendent of the boys' school in Okeechobee at one time.
You mentioned one of these people, you said somebody's mother. What was that about?
Let's see, where did I see that name? Was it on this page?
I think it was number 49.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's Mr. Bondurant's mother.
Mr. Bondurant, the attorney here?
Yeah.
Lorraine. You
I
think it
don't-
might be Lorraine?
I think it's Lorraine.
Okay. And what was her job?
Pardon.
What was her job?
She was a secretary out there.
Any other people that you can think of that you know are still alive that worked with you during the time that you were there?
I have tried to think, all the names, but there's a lot of them I know that I can't remember their names, but I remember the faces. But
Do you know a man named
Yes.
Sam West?
Who?
Sam West?
yeah, his name is not on there, is it?
No.
Yeah, he worked with us out there at school. In fact, I was supervisor when he was working the cottage, and then he got a transfer to the maintenance department.
So he was, first when you say working a cottage, he was a cottage father, is that
Yes.
working a cottage? What years would he have been there?
Well, I would say around 59, somewhere along then.
And how long was he there?
He retired from there.
Did he? Did he ever participate in the punishment of any of the children?
No.
All right. How much time do we have?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.